Fantasy CBB Super Show. I am your host, Walter Waddell. We are short notice, so excuse me for seeming unprepared. Rob is here with us. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you today?
Good, good, good. I just got home. That's how dedicated I am. I wish I could have gone earlier. I got a lot of feedback from people to go on earlier. I just can't get out of work on time, so that's why I end up having to go on at midnight, your guys' time. West Coast time is the real time as far as I'm concerned, though. Big slate on DraftKings tomorrow. Even bigger slate on FanDuel. We definitely need to open up with a few things first before we start talking about the slate. Why don't you first talk a little bit about how close you were in the queue the other day before we start talking about the RotoWire thing. We definitely need to go through your thought process, what you were thinking, thought you had a chance, and then all of a sudden this guy creeps up behind you with your guy, which I had happen to me, and then two other guys who had the games of their life. Well, Oleka didn't, but Trey Holder had a game of his life.
Yeah, let me. I'll pull it up here and see if I can find it in the history. It was the $3 queue on Wednesday, and basically that was a slate that it pretty much. I had a core of 4 guys that I ran. I think I ran 15 teams, 14 or 15 teams where I ran the exact same core. It was Brooks, Jenkins, Hyman, and hang on here. Kevon Allen. I felt those 4 guys were probably the safest guys to have for at least 4x. A couple of them easily had 6 to 7x potential. Obviously, some of them were pretty chalky. Jenkins was 45%. Allen was 40%, and he was kind of a bust. Hyman was 33%. I was really surprised that Brooks was only 8%, and that kind of helped set me apart. He was 5,100 against Missouri. So that kind of was, I felt that was probably the best play of the day, and getting him at 8% was pretty exciting. I really had written it off after the Maryland game. I had a Maryland stack with Tremble, Sullivan, and Stone, and I had that paired with the core, and then I think Van Vliet, and so it fell just short at like 235 at the time. I think the winning total was, and I basically
I have no idea if they can hear me still or if you're gone. You still there?
There.
Yeah, I don't know if we're having some technical difficulties, but you disappeared on me. I think maybe I disappeared. No?
No, I think I'm cutting in and out.
I was gonna say you look frozen on
It's
there.
running a little slow today. I don't know.
All right. If we have to, we can move it over to the air radio if we need to. We'll see if it gets better.
Yeah. I'll go back to, so I basically saw that I had Ryan Anderson going absolutely apeshit, and Tarczewski, who was like 0 for 8, but somehow was at like 20 fantasy points with like 5 minutes left in the game. I had a team climbing up, and I realized it had Murray left on it. And so I think I was probably 16 behind. I was 11 behind the total leader, and then I was 5 behind a guy I think that had Oleka and Holder. Or no, sorry, just Holder. So I ended up passing him pretty easily since Murray dropped a 60 bomb. What I didn't realize was until like 10 minutes into the second half, almost a little bit, basically that he had Oleka, Murray, and Holder. He was only 16 behind me. And so it was I was a pretty heavy dog to actually hold off 16 from 2 guys. And I actually did up until the last, I think, minute in the game, under 30 seconds. I was up the entire time. There was actually a stat correction that would have helped me. But I think it was Oleka picked up like 8 free throws in the last 4 minutes, and that absolutely murdered me. So basically, that kind of hurt any chances I had at it. It was a good run, but with that being a $3 tournament, to finish like second out of 1,600 is pretty tilting, to say the least. Especially when I went through the entire tournament. and saw that I didn't think anybody was near me and completely overlooked it. So it's tough to get that close and not really come out with anything. I think it was $50, and that covered basically my entry fees in it. I cashed a couple more. But yeah, it was pretty rough. Give us just a minute. We're going to try and get Walt back on here. He's got some technical issues. So I'm going to stop the broadcast, but keep the link up, and I'll repost it, and we'll be with you guys in just a minute.